Okay, with due regards to the views and to the press fraternity, we the Bane Kebang would like to place our opinion and views regarding the recent AE interview question paper leakage. So, the one sitting on my right is our Secretary, Publicity and Public Relation, and the one sitting on my left is our Youth Wing President. His name is Okidai, and this is Bijetaram, and myself, Mimom Partin, Vice President Protocol. So the detailed views and opinions will be placed in details by our Secretary, Publicity and Public Relation.
Thank you for the media friends to come over here and record and transport our views to the public of Arunachal Pradesh. ABK would like to put record straight that corruption of any sort cannot and should not be tolerated by any society in the present times. Corruption is in fact the cancer to the society and the most dreaded disease for the upcoming generations. In the context of the present APPSC AE paper leak case, the ABK condemns the incident of the leakage of the question papers, and we demand that those all involved should be booked under appropriate provisions of the laws and be given exemplary punishment. We would straight away put on the records that Adi community, unlike all other communities, aspires that Arunachal should be free of corruption, where only merit should be the mantra of the day for healthy competitions of all spheres in all the competitive examinations. And ABK absolutely stands in firm unison with the students community and the people of Arunachal Pradesh in these angst and anguish about the recent episode that has really shaken the structure of the whole society of Arunachal Pradesh. It is actually like a disease contagiously spread to all the sections of the society and all the departments. So it has to be nipped in the bud at this moment, and ABK would like to remind each and everyone that corruption is an act of individual act. Gratification of any kind is always an individual act. So if any of the officers responsible for this corruption act or any criminal act, we shouldn't be attributing it or maligning or defaming the whole community, blaming the whole community of that community of which that very person belongs to. We have to understand that it is corruption or any criminal act always takes place for private interest, not for the community's interest. And we, along with the right thinking citizens of our state, ABK would seek for exemplary punishment and demand that government officials involved in this very shakening and very shaming episode in the most respected, highly placed APPSCs, that they have to be terminated from their respective jobs immediately. We also demand that any person, those whoever are involved in such criminal acts, against the future generations. If those persons are from outside of the state, they shouldn't be given any more entry into our state. And second is any students or aspirant candidates, those who have been found to be involved here, should be barred permanently from appearing into any competitive examinations in the state. This should be strictly looked into. So the investigation has to be very honest and very sincere, and find out all the involved people, right from officials and officers to the middlemen and the aspirant candidates, or so to say the students. We also demand that all the illegally gotten assets and proceeds of the accused persons, if convicted in the days to come, all your properties disproportionate to their income should be seized by the government and auctioned off. And furthermore, we also welcoming the ABK, while welcoming the decision of the government of Arunachal Pradesh to hand over this AE paper leak case to the CBI, we also would like to press upon the government that all the possible links and possibilities of illegalities in the past examinations, especially wherever close kins and family members of the people involved in the present incident have been selected, should be probed very properly. The investigation should go deep into all the previous examinations also, wherein the kith and close relatives of some of the officials have been said to be selected. So this has to be also properly done, and if possible, that case also should be handed over to the CBI. And finally, lastly, ABK, we especially ADIS come from a system. We have a system in our society called Kebang, which is highly respected by the outside world also. So we are basically a community which believes in proper judicial system and delivery of justice. So we believe, we have full hope, full faith upon the investigation in the present case, that they would be really doing their jobs at the best possible way they can, and they should be kind of finally appeasing the student communities by delivering a sincere and honest investigation into their work, into their job, by uncovering all the illegalities that has taken place and shaken the faith and hope of the future generation of Arunachal Pradesh. And while summing it up, ABK stands in unison with the statement of the Supreme Court, Honorable Supreme Court, in the matter of corruption, that corruption is a crime against the state and a crime against the society. So we vehemently, we strongly condemn the present AE paper leak case, and we reiterate that everyone involved should be probed properly. Investigation should be very honest and very sincere, and all the officials and officers found guilty should be terminated from top to bottom, not leaving anyone, sparing anyone in the process. And besides this, we also have another request to the government of Arunachal Pradesh, that you might all be remembering there was a murder case in Tuting, wherein one of our Adi youth who was serving as a sub-inspector tax and excise here in Itanagar, was found murdered with both hands and legs tied, and his body tied with a stone, found at the Siang at Tuting. So even after almost 6 months, the investigation has not found any headway. Not even a single person has been arrested so far. So we don't condemn the investigation team, but we, along with the aspirations of the victim family, we feel that a special investigation team should be constituted for this murder case also, and if possible, it has to be handed over to the CBI for a very fair investigation and finding out the culprits and giving justice to the victim family as well as to our whole community, because everybody is feeling kind of astounding and in agony and frustrating now. Even after 6 months or so, no substantial headway into the very murder case has been solved till now, and that is what we as ABK feel, and hope that the government does a very good follow up to our request. And for this, we will be meeting the competent and concerned officials and authorities wherein we can place our prayers to hand over the late Tamit Taki murder case to SIT or CBI. Thank you.